as you can see, you have the positive to the battery. About 6 inches from there, you have a fuse, which normally you should actually mount them. Normally the fuse terminal will come with holes like that and then screws, so you can just mount it wherever. You don't have to do it. It's not recommended that you don't do it, but I'm not going to do it. Anyway, so then one way you can run your amp wire, you can see this one right here from the positive is going down around the battery, and then it runs down into there underneath my thermostat or my coolant reservoir. Anyway, down in there, I don't know if you can see it or not. It's kind of hard to see actually. I don't have a light on this, so it's kind of not going to work. But you want to run your power wire through your firewall instead of running it up and by your hood and through your door down there, because that's actually really bad, and that tends to warp, and then it tends to rot or dry rot, or the rubber will crack, and then you'll have a gap where you got air going into your cable. It's just a lot of stuff that can happen. You can crimp it, you can do a lot of stuff to it. But that's the first thing. So we're gonna walk around here. I'm gonna show you how I did it. I'm not gonna do it because I'm only one person. I can't just install it while I'm recording it. But you're gonna see down under here. This is actually, that's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna be down up under there, and that is not gonna work. You're not gonna see it. But under here, this right here is actually the power wire from the battery. It comes up underneath the dashboard through the firewall, and then it runs behind this, which actually is part of the floor, so now you can't even see it. I mean, I guess you can see that, but that's not really gonna hurt it. And it runs right along your door jamb with all the other wires and whatever this thing is on a Volkswagen, and that's gonna run all the way to the back, which you can see. I tried to tuck it underneath here so that when I put the plastic molding back on, you won't have to maneuver it or move it out of the way or anything. It won't have any problems with going back on. It'll just slip back on. And then you run it up. This is a hatchback, so I don't have a trunk I have to go through, which I'm lucky on. But yeah, so what I did is I ran it underneath the seat. You can see this seat actually folds back, and then this right here is the seat that I took off for this video, but that's how it goes. But you can see I just popped this up. You're gonna have to tear your car apart pretty much. I mean, if you don't tear your car apart, it's not gonna be right, and if you don't do it right, it's gonna have issues. So I recommend that you always tear your car apart. Plus you'll find other issues that you didn't know you had, and you'll be able to fix stuff. So anyway, on to what I was saying. Right here is my power wire coming up from under the seat. It's just duct tape. Anyway, so it comes up through here, and it's a little longer, and I have 1 amp already installed over there. What we're going to be doing today is I'm going to show you how to add another amp to an existing amp installation. But it's basically the same thing. I'm going to go over the same steps as installing an amp as the first or single or only amp. Anyway, so this right here is the power cable. You can see that. And since I'm getting ready to install a second amp, which is actually right there, I have a terminal block or a splitter block or whatever you want to call it. Basically it just takes one power line in, and you can put up to 4 on this one, so I can have 4 different amps all on one power line, which is not recommended unless you have a huge cable like this, and as long as you're not going to be doing over 500 watts per amp. Because if you're going to have 4 500 watt amps on one power line, it's not going to be putting out the right ohm load. So you're not going to have as many wattage, and it's not going to be an actual 500 watt amp. It's going to be more like 250. Anyway, that's just common sense. But that's the first step, and now I'm going to show you how to do a ground wire. This is how to hook up a ground. First off, you do not want to hook it up to the ground that your brake lights are using, because that's just going to cause issues, electrical issues, brake issues, not brake issues physically, but the lights. It's going to cause a lot of electronic issues, and it could also blow your amp, your sub, whatever, You just don't want to do that. Don't be lazy, do your own ground. What you want to do is find a piece of metal, any kind of metal. Obviously, do not, on this car, my fuel tank is not on this side, it's on this side. So, anything over here is going to be good for me. Now on this car I can also see all my wires, so I know that my wires are here, so not to drill on top of my wire. And by the way, I'm not liable for anything you do in case you do mess your car up. Just saying. Anyway, so like I said, you want to find metal, which I found metal. I think since I'm putting my amp, I'm going to go ahead and show you. I'm going to end up mounting this amp right here like this. So I want to look and see where all my cords are coming out, which they're coming out on this side. So that's going to work out great because I don't have to have a long cord to make it. And what I did is I went to Walmart and bought this little amp kit. It's cheap, whatever. I don't have. This is a 200 watt amp max, so it's not really requiring a lot of power, which works out for me because I don't really care. So that's that. You can see I don't have a long cable because this is what they give you for a ground. I guess they don't want you to get elaborate. They just want you to hook it up and pay them. So that's what I'm going to do. Wire brushes, very, very good for this because they scrub metal out or paint out. So I think it's like still trying to grounds on there. I'm not going to do it here because obviously my strut's here and I don't want to drill into my strut and then have an issue with my strut. So I'm going to do it right here. A separate piece of metal. It's just, I mean, all the metal on the car is going to be grounded somehow. It's all going to be bolted on, and that bolt creates a ground from the frame to the piece of metal that you bolted on. So I'm going to go ahead and scrape this off. I'm going to put my ground right here. You can see it's actually coming off pretty easy. Normally it's a lot harder than that, but go ahead and cut it. Car. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do now is actually mount the amp. I am using any kind of screw, really, it doesn't matter. I'm using just black screws so that it doesn't show up as much. They are Phillips, so grab a Phillips bit, put it in my drill. Alright, and this is magnetic, so as you can see it just sits there. Doesn't come off, so it's a lot easier. You can hold this with your one hand while you decide where you want to mount it. And I almost fell over. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to put my amp right about here. Actually, I might put it right about here. That's just where I want it. You're going to want to hold pressure on it while you do it, just because one screw might not hold it, whereas 4 will. Like that. Now it's good, because that one's sunk into something. I don't know what it sunk into. It's not sticking out the side of my car though, so I don't really care. But keep in mind, I don't have any lights up here. There's no cords in there. It's all hollow. It's just metal, so it just screwed into metal. That's why I don't care, because I know what it's screwed into. You know? There's the third. And here is the fourth. And it's in. Seatbelt works. Shock's way out the way. I'm good. Alright. Let me look at something real quick, like so the RCA's. Okay, and then I just mounted the amp. You don't want any movement, which I already thought about that. I didn't explain it before I mounted it, but there's no movement to that. It ain't going nowhere. You hit a bump, it's not like mounted on the back of your seat and it's rattling around, you know, bouncing. That's never good. And they're electronics, so they got power running through them, so you're gonna want to put them somewhere where airflow is actually prominent, or prevalent, or it's there. Either way, however you want to say it. Yeah, so that's actually a good spot because it's up in the air. It's a little higher up, so when I have my windows down, wind's hitting it, so it's getting cooled constantly. These right here, these just disperse heat because they're all hollow. You can stick your finger in there. And this one right here has the same thing. It's got ridges. This actually has better cooling than this one does. But anyway, that's beside the point. What the next thing you want to do is, let's see. Well, I'd say the next thing you're going to do is go ahead and hook up your ground. Actually, you can place your speaker next. So when I come back, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to where you can put your speaker so that it doesn't fall over and damage the actual speaker. So yeah, we'll be right back. Alright, so as you can see, I hooked up my sub. It's not supposed to move, but I really don't give a crap. Obviously, you can see that.
WSMK smoking 99.1.
I can put it like this.
You know, Michiana's hottest hits for you.
And then
you know it's your girl MIA with you
I can
on this
put
Monday
my-
night. Going through 7 to 10.
toolbox.
You know how we do it. Now, I got quite a few
I
requests
always
coming
have
up
my
in this
toolbox
next
in the
hour.
car anyway.
My request
But,
logs are getting big already. But you got something you want to hear? I'll still try to throw it on.
It might fit in there, I don't
269-683
know,
hits.
it might not.
Michiana's hottest hits on the
Yeah, it's
way.
gonna fit in there.
99.1.
Nice sound. Anyway, so that ain't moving. I got my toolbox there. So I need to carry this too, but I don't want to put it in my back seat. I can't carry anybody. So I got this 10-inch, this 12-inch. Just so you know, this one has. Okay, so the way I got the audio split up on this is the 12-inch is going to have all the low ends. So 70 and under, or 80 and under hertz goes to the 12. This, however, is set to, I think, 120 hertz because it's a 10-inch. The smaller the speaker, the higher the watt, or the higher the hertz level you can get out of it. So 120 all the way to the lowest that it's going to send is going to go to this 10, but it's going to do the majority of the higher notes because this 12 doesn't hit the 120 hertz. So anyway, that's that. Showed you how to hook it up, and that's about it. So this was just a basic how to hook up your system. If you got 2 amps, how to add another amp. Gave you little insights, little tips. Again, don't judge it. I don't care what it looks like. It just works.